Yes, the People's Agenda continues. We truly, again, appreciate you so much for keeping your eyes on Rico TV. We are situated in Kampala, that is plot 47 on Chila Road. You can come and say hello. We are extremely, very happy to see you and knowing that you're part of the big family, that is Rico TV Uganda family. Well, we have Peter Kaujju from the KCCA trying to break down for us a number of questions that you and I are interested in knowing. And now we are talking about electricity bills and complaints from the traders in Kampala. The traders complain that owners of the commercial buildings determine at times the tenants' electricity bills, which at times do not correspond with the overall women bill, which is very, very unfortunate. How do you go about this?
Yes, this complaint has been coming through, and 2 weeks ago when His Excellency the President visited the city, actually the traders shared this complaint. And the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development came out clearly to warn landlords and people in the city who are vending power, and indicated that this is a big problem and it's bound to affect our people greatly. She clearly guided that there is a plan, government has a plan to ensure that everybody, every tenant on a given building is actually given their meter. That is self-loading, Yaka meter. And so that is already in plan, and we are very confident that when this comes, it will actually address this challenge that has faced so many of our people, because sometimes most businesses actually depend on power, and if it's very expensive, then the cost of doing business becomes very, very high, and therefore not possible to afford. So it is an issue that government has taken on seriously, and according to what the minister said, she indicated that there are plans for all tenants, or for each tenant to get a meter for their business, and that this is not business that should be looked at or done by landlords. Yes. Yeah. So we believe this will solve a problem.
Oh. Yes. Now let's take a look at the plans of KCCA 2011 in October.
Yes.
Demolition plans.
Yes.
Actually, according to what I wrote here, they set up a committee to demolish unplanned buildings in Kampala. And some of the buildings that were mentioned by Giorgio Agaba, who happened to be the KCCA director in charge of physical planning.
The late now.
Yes, the late. Complained about Royal Complex, JBC building, Yamaha Center, and a number of buildings. And this talk has been ongoing up to date. Demolition, that the plan halted. Demolition halted. When is this going to be put in considerations? And besides that, why some buildings were saying to be demolished, then halted the plans and stuff like that? What is the whole bit of the conversation about those plans?
Okay. One of our critical mandates and responsibilities is physical planning for Kampala as KCCA. And on a daily basis, we actually set out teams to go on sensitizing the communities, but also enforcing the law. We are putting a lot of focus on public engagement and sensitization to actually indicate to them that the law demands that if you're to put up any development in the city, even when you own the land, it must be planned development, because the city has a physical development plan. So we do not expect you, Mordecai, to put up a bar on your land because it belongs to you, which is near a school or which is near a hospital. It means it's going to be of a big inconvenience to the school, to our learners, but also the patients in hospitals. So what government clearly indicated, and again recently you had the president also saying that every area in any district or in this country, we must not just allow for structures to come up. They must be planned. People must submit plans. So this is embedded in the laws of this country. And we say that if you want to put up any development, any structure, whether permanent or temporary, you must submit your plans, development applications, and they are reviewed by the Physical Planning Committee. We have a committee which sits every week to review plans. And once we review your plans, you either get one of the three things. You can get your plan straight away approved, or we ask you to make adjustments on the plans, or we reject it. So that has actually been done. But when we were starting in 2011, we also discovered that quite a number of structures had just sprung up without the plans. And some have actually continued also to come up. And you have actually seen us on screen here, and you've heard our stories when we are carrying out demolitions. Demolitions had never stopped until recently, when there was a pronouncement by our minister. But it's part of the work that we do. We do the sensitization, we do the enforcement, and also we do a lot of engagement. So this has never stopped. We've been carrying out demolition, but also when people hear demolition, it's actually it is the very final end. But some buildings are actually removed because they don't have unapproved plans. But you will also find other offending structures where people got the plans approved, but they divert from the plans and say where you got an approved plan to construct 3 floors, somebody adds like 2, 4, like adds other floors, and at the end of the day, the building is collapsing. We had a similar incident in Munyonyo. There was another incident just here on Makere Hill Road where structures actually collapsed and killed our people. So the reason we enforce these building regulations is not because we want to punish people, but it is our responsibility to ensure that people are carrying out their activities in a regulated environment. We don't want to get to scenarios where we are losing lives, where we are treating people because somebody never got their plans approved, they never followed the precautions. That is why we move out to carry out these structural removals, or what is commonly known as demolitions.
Well, talking of demolition, then garbage collection, it has a certain way in which it portrays image of KCCA. Then we relate it to the image that was known by people when they had the name KCCA. First of all, it actually forced a musician who is now a member of parliament to come up with a song, to Gambito with Jennifer Kendezo Bukambwe. However, we realize that now that image, the negative image, is a bit diminishing. And people are probably, I will say yes, they are appreciating the way how everything is done now. But then, how much has it taken you to, is it sugar coating? Which word can I use? To really rebrand the image of KCCA?
Yes. Thank you, Mordecai. I think that the greatest value for any brand or for any institution is to understand the people you serve better, or your clients or your customers. So for us, in this case, our clients, we had to position this institution called KCCA. Remember, the new law came into force, and it killed, if I can use the word killed, the old institution that was called Kampala City Council. And so we had to come up with a new brand, which is KCCA, a corporate entity, but also that has new tenets, because we came up with a new mission, a new vision, new core values, the things we believe in as we deliver our services. And one of the critical things we put emphasis on up to today is integrity. Integrity is one of our core values. Teamwork is one of them. Excellency in everything that we do. Innovativeness, I mean, you have to innovate. You can't work like yesterday, otherwise the world would leave you. But also the fact that we needed to build a transparent, credible institution known as KCCA. So we care about our brand. Yes, some people may have seen us when we were starting a bit ruthless, and they termed us as not pro people, but we kept adjusting and also trying to understand the people we serve. So we had to adjust accordingly, meaning we had to set the standards. If we have the laws, you sensitize the people and they know that this is what is expected of me. I can't be moving on Kampala Road and then when I am done taking my water, I drop the bottle on the road. No, we put facilities like litter bins along several roads in the city and went on a mass campaign to tell people that you actually need to drop, if you have any garbage, don't drop it in a taxi where you are. Don't drop it on the road or in drainage channel, but walk and take it to the litter bins where we are. So sensitization helped us a lot in terms of changing the image. But that does not mean that we stopped registering cases of errant people. Yeah, people would up to now actually continue to dump in drainage channels, and and those ones we never stop. We pick them and also take them to court for that. So it's a mix.
Let's talk about the way how you are handling street vendors.
Yes, like initially, of course, those complaints were there, and we would also see them, and we had to train our people in customer management and relations, and also the way of handling offenders. And so this has actually greatly improved. The way we handle our people now is not the way we used to handle them like 2011, because we were just beginning. We had people recruited, but they had not yet been trained fully. Yeah, so we took them on a journey of training in all areas, a lot of sensitizations, and we have greatly improved. When you look at the way arrests are made or impounds are made, it's very professional. We have improved. Yes, we could still have some gaps, but I promise you that we are working to ensure that we improve, and that our people, even when you are an offender, you are handled as human, to ensure that we bring you to book, but not being handled as something that does not matter.
Now we get to one of the most contentious debate and one of the most contentious question. It was a Monday evening that the country received the mixed reactions from all different angles of spheres of life, more especially from the political angle. That is Jennifer Musisi Semakula, who's been the executive director of the Kampala Capital City Authority, decided to say, my hands are up. And what was the reason? This is the reasons. Actually, she came up with a number of reasons. It said, after my close to 8 years of service as the KCCA executive director, I think by 15th December, I'll be leaving office. It was very, very contentious. Even up to date, there's a lot of things that are actually said. Every day, the news are printing, actually Bouquet Day, and other papers today. We are rushed to say, ensonga uli problem eseza Jennifer Musisi. Tukuletedde ensonga akazita akamuteereddwako, trying to really define why she left the office. But now, or why she's going to leave the office. But now we really have someone who is going to throw more light on this. What does it really mean for Jennifer Musisi to leave office? And what is your take on some of the reasons she came out to say in her resignation letter? That the political wing and administrative or technocrat wing, that kind of bad blood, if I may use that word, that is there, and that it has remained. And what do we see after? Of recent when Gregory Mugisha decided to leave FDC, he had to move with some gentlemen, Cassiano Wadri and others, who have been subscribers of FDC. Should we see Peter Kaujju following?
Yeah, very true. I can actually confirm to you that our executive director issued a notice of resignation, and she did share very candidly the areas that she felt had caused her to, throw in the towel, and I can't speculate on that because everything is clearly written in the letter that she addressed to His Excellency. I am really, really constrained to go into the details of that letter because it was addressed to His Excellency, and he's actually yet to respond. So I will not go much into the details of what the letter said. But yes, she did mention about some of the issues, like she felt there's limited political support for the work that is being done in the city. And the other thing that we have decided to do as an institution, basically, it's voluntary. When I take up a job as interesting as that of the executive director in in a capital city, like Kampala. It's not going to be an easy task. But what we know for sure is that our team leader has done her best. She's done a lot of work for the past 7 years. If you look back, the garbage you used to find on several roads in the city, that's gone. A number of streets were actually dark. We never had at one time we were referred to as the city of potholes because our road network was bad. At the time we were starting, development partners, the people that have been funding or that were funding the city, were actually quitting. Entities like World Bank, they had written saying they felt there was no value for money. There was mass corruption in an institution that was called Kampala City Council. But for now, to live at a time when Kampala is actually regarded as the most beautiful and safe city to live in Africa is not a mean feat. Also, to live at the time when you have, for the past 4 years, back to back, you have an unqualified audit opinion by the Auditor General, meaning your processes, your systems are perfect. They have no problem with it, with them as a city. To also live at a time when you have built self-sustaining systems in the city, I think it's a great achievement. And we have actually shared and continue to commit that our ED did all she could, and she did very well. She has set the pace. There are systems in place. We believe Kampala can go on, and we believe that whoever will pick up from there, at least there is a very solid starting point. And we are only wishing her the best in her new life. And she's still with us to ensure that it's a good transition. So she's still in office until the 15th of December. But yes, to confirm, I have confirmed that she actually did issue.
What is your take? The Lord Mayor, Ubagudi Kude, is very happy.
Yeah, I was actually very surprised and couldn't believe that that's coming from such a leader. But the thing is that for us, we know that Kampala has to transform. And right from the time this administration came in place, we set our agenda and we set key priority areas which have actually been achieved. We may have not achieved 100%, but we believe that Kampala is actually on a right track to ensure that our people get the services they deserve. And the other thing is that for us, we are not politicians. We actually do, we set our targets, we set our work plans, and we set out to achieve them. We audit, we follow up, we monitor. So, and the other thing also is that you can never work to please everybody. Do your cut and leave other things for others to say, to comment, and also do their part. Yes.
Wow. We truly appreciate you so much for keeping your eyes on Record TV. We almost reached our conclusion. What is one thing that you wouldn't want to leave out?
Yeah, the other, my last word to you, the people who are watching us, is that Kampala actually belongs to you. Kampala does not belong to the city administration. We only take a lead in ensuring that we have a better place to live in. We have done a lot of installations. The government has spent a lot of money to put up street lights, to put up traffic junctions, to put up manhole covers so that you have a safe walk on the streets in the city. Our only appeal to you is to ensure that we protect these installations. Please don't walk on the green belts that we have planted. Don't steal and vandalize cables so that the lights are not running. Don't steal the manhole covers because you want to take the steel in there. Kampala belongs to all of us. It is our common responsibility to ensure that Kampala keeps improving and that it is in a good shape. God bless you.
You had hinted something. You had hinted on noise pollution.
Yes.
In a second.
Yeah, noise pollution is a big nightmare in some areas in the city, but we have now started carrying out what we call a clampdown. We have done enough engagement with these sources of noise. Some are bars, some are religious places or places of worship. We have spoken to them, we have issued notices, and some have actually complied, but there are quite a number that are not complying. And if you don't comply, we have no other option but to come and enforce the law, because we want everybody to enjoy their right when they are in the city. They must have convenience when they're in the city. I shouldn't have a sleepless night because my neighbor is playing loud music the whole night, when the next day is a working day, when I have children to drop to school. So I think we all deserve better in our environment. So for those that have not complied with the noise guidelines, we are going to ensure and continue with a crackdown on them.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mordecai and the team.
We truly appreciate you so much for keeping it a big deal. That is every Wednesday, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. My name is Mordecai Muriisa Martin Jr. and I truly appreciate you so much for watching the People's Agenda. Please keep it a big deal every day. We are reinventing, as we all say, to reinvent is our brand. We have a lot of things that are coming on your way. Please just keep it every day. Rico TV. Don't touch your remote, neither press any button on your TV in search for the second best, because we believe we are the best. Blowing my own trumpet, yes, I got to do, because I truly believe in what I have. Well, it's been I, Mordecai Muriisa Martin Jr. We had Peter Kaujju.
Yes.
You again remind them your position.
Yes, thank you. I am the head of Public and Corporate Affairs at Kampala Capital City Authority, and it's always a pleasure coming to Record TV and conversing with our viewers. Thank you very much.
All right, we wish you a blessed night, and let us let us be able to again have a conversation that is tomorrow morning. I wish you a blessed night.
Thank you.